Hello, everybody. I'm Father Scott Vanderveer here with the second in our series on the 4 pillars of the Catholic social doctrine, the teaching that helps us know how to live well with each other. Today, we're going to look at the first pillar, the common good, which is a twin of the second pillar, which is about the dignity of each individual. We'll be talking next time about the second pillar and the dignity of each individual. But in order to put that in context, we have to start by talking about the common good. The common good is the term that we use for the way that we find compromise and consensus among the human family, how we are willing to do things to help each other by changing the way we approach the big picture. A lot of us are understandably focused on how to help my family. How do I get my kids into college? How do I help my loved ones achieve their goals? All of that makes perfect sense. But this is a chance for us to take a look and say, what is best for the human family requires all of us to do our part to work toward that. It's important that we are working together as a group of people who recognize the dignity of all so that we can make sure that no one's left behind. So the common good is often seen in the way communities come together, the way that people, for example, will do something like a GoFundMe, make a bunch of donations out of their private accounts, sacrifice their own private desires so that they can help someone in the community who has a very big need. A lot of times we'll see that with Catholic relief services. We'll say, during the time of Lent when we collect money for the rice bowls, many of you are familiar with that, we say if you could just go without 1 cup of coffee every day or two, then you could put that $2.90 into this little cardboard box and then send it to Catholic relief services. And they can use all of those coffee sacrifices to feed people in countries where there are consistent problems of hunger. So you can imagine how much can be done when every individual does their little bit. Actually, that's how taxes work. Taxes require everybody to pay in their bit, and then we can do incredible things like build interstates and float navies. It wouldn't be possible if people didn't all put their part in, which is interesting because a lot of us believe that taxes are unjust in their basic concept. But taxes are part of how we create the common good. That doesn't mean that every politician does a great job spending those tax dollars. We understand that. But we can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. And we can't start pretending that Jesus said that we weren't supposed to pay taxes. Do you remember when he was asked the question, are we supposed to pay taxes to the Roman emperor or not? And Jesus said, whose image is on the coin? Well, if Caesar's image is on the coin, then give to Caesar what is Caesar's and give to God what is God's. The common good means that we help one another. We contribute to the good of each other without ever being confused that our primary obligation is to God. We don't choose the common good over our devotion to God. Our devotion to God is always paramount. But we also don't put ourselves and our desires and needs above God, because God has revealed that the common good is really important, that the common good is part of the way that we bring justice to the world. So it's not unusual for us to have to make sacrifices to help others. A great example of this is Catholic schools. Most of you know that St. Mary's here in Glens Falls has St. Mary's Academy, a beloved 140, almost 3-year-old institution. It's an incredible gift to our community, but it's expensive. Our parish has to subsidize the budget of the school. And we don't do it because we are worried about the school, we do it as a planned gift each year. Our finance council makes a planned monthly gift to the school because it's a ministry of the parish, because we believe in educating young people, because we also want to make sure the tuition can remain affordable enough that everyone in Glens Falls can participate in this kind of education. We're providing a chance for our kids to be able to have a first-class education even if they're not rich, to be able to go to a private Catholic school even if they can't pay the full ride. That's why we have people that give into our Guardian Angel Fund, which becomes the money that we use to help people with scholarships and with financial aid. There are so many people in our community that are educating their kids in this school and putting their all into it, giving every penny they can. But then knowing that there are good Catholic people in our parish that are going to help them with the rest of the responsibility, that are going to not expect families to raise their kids alone, but to be part of this global village. There was an African proverb that was popular in the 1980s that has been quoted again and again, and it says, "It takes a whole village to raise a child." That's what we believe. That's what the common good says to us. It takes mentors and coaches and scout leaders and priests and pastoral associates. It takes science teachers and campus ministers and chaplains. It takes everybody to raise a child. And parents who have their kids well connected to the community, they understand the idea of the common good. They know that they are not raising their children alone. You know, this common good idea happens in so many ways. Here in Glens Falls, where would we be without the volunteers who helped to make Crandall Park beautiful and a place of disc golf and Glens Falls symphony concerts? Where would we be if we didn't have a city that provided bandstands and gazebos in our city park where we can listen on Monday nights in the summer to beautiful music in our lawn chairs? Where would we be without the Crandall Public Library and all of the donations that go into making that such a beautiful place, such a repository of knowledge and goodness? I love that place. Where would we be without safe neighborhoods and places where we can gather together? We are a stronger people when we are strong together. People being strong individually is not the greatest kind of strength, but when we're strong together. I don't know about you, but often if I'm driving by a beautiful mansion, maybe along Lake George or in a beautiful historic neighborhood of Albany, if I go by a beautiful mansion, I'll say, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing." But I'll probably never go in there. I'll probably never get to see how beautiful it is. I'll probably never get to know just how great the architect was who created that. But when I go into a place like a public train station, like the beautiful Albany train station with its soaring ceilings and its shape along the Rensselaer skyline and its view of the Albany cityscape, I just love it. It's a place where everyone can go. It's a place where visitors from all over are greeted in our city. It's almost like having a mansion that is open to the public. Mansions that are open to the public are exciting. Mansions where individuals live are beautiful, but they become a place that we wonder about, a place beyond a wall. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's great that people are able to live beautifully with the resources that they have. But there's something even more beautiful about people opening those things up. There are so many places in New York State that are open to the public so that it's part of the common good for all of us to have access to that together. I think of Olana along the Hudson River down in Hudson, New York. I think of the beautiful historic presidential houses and libraries like the one in Hyde Park. I think of so many things that are beautiful because we protect them for the common good. The Adirondack Park, for which Glens Falls serves as a gateway. Oh my goodness, where would we be without that land and its beauty and the way it has been conserved so extravagantly for all of these years? The common good. not isolated, not in opposition to the idea of each person's dignity, but connected to it and part of it, and a beautiful gift. Thank you for joining me in this journey as we go through the 4 pillars of Catholic social doctrine. The common good, the first and the foundational one. And next time, looking at its twin, the dignity of each human person. May God bless you all.